Bill DeWitt of the Cardinals got roasted for saying baseball's not very profitable. He bought it for X $100 million. It's now worth X billion dollars. But I think one of the things that said is you shouldn't have to sell a business to declare it profitable. The sport is in a great place financially. So I think their lines of credit and everything do not have to. I don't think you're going to see teams sold or go out of business. Although they're, you hear about how far they already extended their credit to teams that don't have great attendance.
Okay, so let's get to nuts and bolts. Do we know yet how many games, and do we know yet how many playoff teams? Are we certain?
Yeah, we are. Sadly, and I thought even Monday that there was the expanded playoff of 16 teams would be implemented. It's not. It's going to be a 10-team playoff. And it's going to be 60 games, and you're going to play only like the AL West and the NL West will play each other. The NL East, AL East. You're going to see a lot of games. Mets, I would presume, in that scenario, just to limit the travel as much as possible. It's going to be a weird scene. The biggest thing is, how are we going to adjust to watching games with nobody there? When you and I think about the special moments you've enjoyed in this sport, like Game 3 of 2001 World Series with George W. Bush on the mound. I mean, the crowd was the biggest part of that.
That's right.
The Mets coming back after 9/11, all of that. The crowd was what made it special. We're not going to have that. And how is that going to feel? It's going to take a long time to get accustomed to. Like, I think there's going to be no clubhouse access for the media. And, in fact, they're going to limit the number of media. I think in some cases the TV announcers, radio announcers may not travel with the teams, do it from a studio, just because they're going to limit the number of people as much as possible around the club, around the ball.
It is not thinkable, it is not reasonable to believe that people will not get this virus. Of course they will. Do they have, what is the plan, or is it evolving as we speak?
Well, it's 67 pages, and it's basically the original plan was so restrictive in terms of using the training facilities, just basically in your uniform, leave the ball. And the players have said, could we have more tests? Could you test us every day? Now that gets into a moral question around the country. Do we have enough testing? I don't know how to answer that, but the players are going to be tested, if not daily, then every other day. And then what do you do? What do you do when a player tests positive? How do you quarantine them? How do you make sure everybody else feels safe? I mean, you're right. It's going to happen. The Phillies are experiencing it now. Charlie Blackmon, the star center fielder of the Rockies, has already tested positive, and that's our new world. So what happened last time? One NBA player tested positive, and professional sports was shut down. I just think we're going to have to learn how to deal with it and figure it out as players, to be honest. The hardest thing is going to be telling players you have to live in a bubble. For the next 3 months, you have to live in a bubble. That's tough to ask. And basically you're saying your wife and your children have to live in a bubble too, because if they go out, it's the same as you going out. And, it's a new world, but it's the world, you and I, we all, as Americans, live in right now.
Get you out of here on this. You made it, Texas good. Growing up, the most important thing, sports for people who grew up where you grew up, is college football. We're going to have college football?
It's hard to imagine, isn't it? It's hard to imagine that we're going to have 100,000 people. Texas A&M draws 105,000 people every game. And they're not going to be able to do that. I mean, they just said, we don't know what we're going to do. Right now, we plan to have 20,000 people there. Teams are families. Teams live in close proximity. Players go out. And you're going to tell all those kids you can't go out? I mean, I don't know how it's going to work. I can't see it working. And I can't imagine a fall without it, too.
Thank you, Richie. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Tony.
Richard Justice, boys and girls. We'll take a break. Michael Wilbon will join us on the other side. We're just going to flip the show around. Is that okay, Nigel? We'll just flip the show around.
Yeah, sure, that works.
All right, I'm Tony Kornheiser.
You're listening to the Tony Kornheiser Show.
You know his name, but not his past. Based on one of the best-selling book series of all time, Perry Mason is HBO's next must-watch crime drama starring Emmy winner Matthew Rhys, who does not like me, but his wife or girlfriend, Kerry Russell does, and co-starring Emmy winners Tatiana Maslany and John Lithgow. Set in a vibrant but struggling 1930s Los Angeles, the series delves into the origin story of American fiction's most legendary criminal defense lawyer. As a down-on-his-luck private investigator, Perry Mason follows his cases through the seedy underbelly of L.A., knowing full well that there's what's legal and then there's what's right. Follow Mason's journey as he unravels the secrets behind a disturbing case of a kidnapping gone wrong. Uncovering the truth means exposing a city full of corruption, and everybody is guilty. New episodes of Perry Mason air Sundays at 9 p.m. on HBO. You can stream it on HBO Max. Is this aired already? Has the first one aired already?
Yes, this past Sunday.
Did you see it?
I did, and I thought it was very good. Yeah,
Oh, good.
I'm all in already.
Oh, good. I think I want to watch that, but to be fair, I haven't watched TV for a long time. I just have stopped.
I think this is
Damn, that was my best one yet.
You're listening to the Tony Kornheiser Show. The Tony Kornheiser Show.
Once again, this is Susan Peak. This is called a gecko named Smog.
I've had more kills, but...
Folks can check out her music on her website, studioblueguitar.com. And she wants to credit Michael Arafat, A-R-A-F-E-H, Arafat, at thecoffeehouse.net for his help on a gecko named Smog. At the end of the show, you can hear Susan Peak's stuff, which is always great and better than what we do.